We're going to go over 4 huge features of a new AI product that's the pinnacle of AI products that you've ever seen. In fact, one of the features, I'd say 2, but especially one of the features is something you've never seen before at all. And it's just so mind-blowing that you'll really have to buckle in your seatbelts now before you pop out of your seats later. And I'm going to demonstrate the software for you as well. And we'll tell you what FaceForm can do for you and your clients. And that's where I'm going to need your help to think up some ideas too. Let's get started with FaceForm. So I wanted to think over the weekend about how to best describe FaceForm in terms of each one of the modules, because there's 4 big modules, as you'll hear, okay? And what I wanted to do was think of what they have in common. And the most active theme in my mind, the one that had the most, I don't know, legitimacy and seemed to really bring out what this product was about, even though it didn't encompass everything it did, was the idea that you could take images and bring them to life. And then the first thing that popped in my mind when I thought, well, how can I illustrate that, is with Pinocchio. Now, I'm sure that you're all familiar with the tale of Pinocchio. I won't even ask you if you are or not, because I think just about everybody is. So the story of Pinocchio, of course, is about a puppet who doesn't have the ability to move without, being manipulated by someone else. And that's because it's a puppet, right? What if you could free that puppet from its strings and make it actually come to life? Like that image that you see on the right, what if it was possible to take that image that you see on the upper left now, right here, okay, and actually make it move, make it talk, make it sing, even though it's just a still image? Is that even possible? Yeah, it is possible. Here, I'll show you how with FaceForm.
I've got no strings to hold me down or make me fret or make me strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
Now, what's interesting about what you just saw is I put that together in 10 minutes during the course of the weekend. I put that together, and you'll see later in this very broadcast, this very webinar, that was my voice. That wasn't some Disney, crew putting that together for $6 billion. That was just me for free taking this product and just putting that together, freeing Pinocchio from the strings. Now, much of FaceForm is like the story of Pinocchio. Remove the strings attached to your images and videos and be free. But there's a lot more to it than that. You'll see how I created that video shortly, and I think you'll really get a kick out of it. But for now, let's talk about all the features, the big 4 of FaceForm. So here's the big 4 features, and I'm going to go over them with you in detail, and then I'm going to show you them in even more detail, and then we're going to do a demonstration of them because, boy, are they exciting. The first is called Transform, and that's what you just saw with Pinocchio, where you could take a still image and you could make it move and talk and speak, but you're doing it by taking a video and feeding the video into the image so that, for instance, it will mimic all the expressions of the original video. So if you took a video of me, which in that case we were doing, what would happen is all the expressions on my face and everything else would carry over into the still image, which would then come to life. That's Transform. Then we have something on the lower left. You see it's called Talking Avatar. Talking Avatar is similar, but you're just feeding in an audio file or doing a text to speech, which is included. And you just write out, up to 250 or 500 characters, and boom, you could get your avatar to talk. And it also will have some expression on its face, even though it's not copying it like in the video. The next feature is called Face Swap, and a few of you already have this that are on this webinar. Face Swap is very interesting. You can actually merge the faces of two different characters, and I'll show you a full demonstration of that. You can do it with both images and video. And the fourth feature, brand new, it's called Replicate Media. You can actually take stock videos from a stock video site, even a paid video site, and you could do it for images and videos, and you could just recreate that image to your liking, so you don't have to pay for the stock image. And you could also change it up by just saying, hey, replace that soccer ball with a basketball or something like that. You'll see how that works as well. So those are the four features, and I can show them to you again right here. On the upper left, we have that replicate media thing that I just spoke of. In this case, we have a woman looking at a phone as she walks down the street. Notice what we did on the right. Again, that's the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Notice that she is now looking at a book because we said, hey, we don't want her to look at a phone. We want her to look at a book. And we want you to recreate that scene entirely. Isn't that fantastic that you could do that? You could take a stock video and change it up like that. The next thing on the upper right is that transform that I was telling you about. You see how the video of me is forcing the car that we created with the AI to speak? See how as I speak, it speaks? We'll show you much more about that as well. On the lower left, that is the face swap feature. Notice we changed the woman right there to look more like an Asian woman. So we have, again, everything the same about that woman except her face. We were able to change her ethnicity. We could also change her age if we wanted. We could change other facial features to match the actual demographic that you're trying to reach as an advertiser. And lastly, one of the most useful of all is on the lower right. That is what we call, here, let me scroll down a little bit so you can see it even better. That's talking avatar. And talking avatar is where you take a picture of a woman or anybody, and you actually just feed in either the audio through typing, so text to speech, or you feed in the audio through an audio file that you made of yourself or somebody else, like a client. And you're actually able to get them here. I'm going to circle that right here on the lower right-hand side of your screen. You can see that that woman is talking. Now, we're going to go over these one by one right now, but I just wanted to give you a little overview first of what you'll be seeing, the magic that you'll be seeing today. So let's first start with feature number one, transform. Now, I have to tell you right off the bat that this is my favorite feature. Even though it may not be the number one most useful, I'm thinking talking avatar maybe, but this is my favorite because you have so much control over what you see. It's the ability to completely copy the expressions and voice from one video to another video. Okay? So let me give you an example of that by showing you something that this brought to mind. Put a 1 in the chat box if you're familiar with the movie Benjamin Button. All right, that was with Brad Pitt. It's a 2008 movie where Brad Pitt actually decreased in age during the movie instead of increased in age. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you're familiar with that particular movie. Now, give me a 2 in the chat box if you're not familiar with that movie, and I'll explain it just a little bit more on how it relates to what we're doing. Okay, so most of you are familiar with the Benjamin Button effect, which is the decrease of age as one moves through time. That's what happened, but they had a little bit of a problem in 2008 when they made that movie. They wanted to take the 44-year-old Brad Pitt, and it's usually very easy to age a person. You just put on makeup, right? So on the left-hand side of the screen, that's Brad Pitt with makeup, because when he was first born, he came out as an old man, all right? And they were able to show that by putting on the proper makeup. That's easy to do. But it's not so easy to make yourself look younger. So what they did is they used CGI. They took old pictures of Brad Pitt, and they made him look younger as he acted. So the 44-year-old Brad Pitt in the movie, which you see on the right there, that's actually 44-year-old Brad Pitt, was merged with his old self. And everybody said, ooh, isn't that amazing? Yeah, It was amazing then, but it's not amazing as much now because you could do something like that. You can make a transformation to a younger self of yours. If you don't believe me, watch me do it to myself right here.
One crazy great benefit of the transform feature is that you could actually do something that I call the Benjamin Button effect. In that movie, of course, they took Brad Pitt and they made him look younger and younger through the movie using older Brad Pitt clips. Let's see if I could do that with this clip right here. Make myself speak and have the same expressions, but younger. One crazy great benefit of the transform feature is that you could actually do something that I call the Benjamin Button effect. In that movie, of course, they took Brad Pitt and they made him look younger and younger through the movie using older Brad Pitt clips. Let's see if I could do that with this clip right here. Make myself speak and have the same expressions, but younger.
All right, so there you have an example of how I could make myself look younger. Now, there's something else that's even more fascinating to me. I don't necessarily have to look younger, but I sure do want to look better than I do first thing in the morning. Now, this is just some of the ways you could use transform, and it's getting rather personal here, but this came to my mind as a way that I would use it in the future. So watch, and this time you'll note that I just got up in the morning.
Well, when I first get up in the morning, my hair is disheveled, my skin is blotchy, you could probably tell. I look tired, there may be some rings under my eyes, I look older than I usually do. What if I take a little bit younger picture of myself when I was dressed nicely, and I look better, maybe even younger, and take the very video that I'm making right now and plug it into another Todd?
Okay, let's see another Todd from just a couple of years ago when at least my hair was combed.
Well, when I first get up in the morning, my hair is disheveled, my skin is blotchy, you could probably tell. I look tired, there may be some rings under my eyes, I look older than I usually do. What if I take a little bit younger picture of myself when I was dressed nicely, and I look better, maybe even younger, and take the very video that I'm making right now and plug it into?
You see what I did there? Is that amazing how I was able to carry everything onto the expressions of the other Todd, the picture Todd? That was just a still image you were looking at just now. That was actually doing the speaking and had all the expression in the face. Well, that's all well and good. That would be great for if you want to make a video of yourself or somebody else and make it look even better without having to get dressed up. But what about a practical application of this? What if I could force a cartoon character to act a certain way? Well, that's exactly what I did with Pinocchio at the beginning of this webinar. Remember that? You want to see how I pulled that off? Here, watch this.
I've got no strings to hold me down, or make me fret, or make me frown. I had some strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Let's see how that came out.
I've got no strings to hold me down, or make me fret, or make me frown. I had some strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
All right. So, how do you feel about transform? I want to know from you right now. That's my favorite feature. How do you feel about it? I'm waiting. I see a couple of these answers.
Absolutely speechless.
You see what I did there? Watch again.
Absolutely speechless.
The car on the right, which was a character that we created with the software itself, as you'll see in the demo, was able to look just like my face and sound just like me.
Absolutely speechless.
All right, let's go over the second feature now. Remember, there's 4 big features. Each one is extremely special. Feature number 2 is talking avatars. As I mentioned before, if I had to think of the one feature that had the most applications, it would be this one. And that is to take a still picture, again, a still picture of AI, with the AI. You could create it with the AI or just download one, upload one. It's too early in the morning for me. Upload, download, same thing. Yes, upload a picture from off of your computer of yourself or a business client or anyone, even a character like we saw that talking car a moment ago. Let's see how that comes out. Again, we're going to take the still picture on the left, and what we've done is with text to speech, we want the woman on the right not only to speak, but yeah, to show some expression in her face as she's doing so. Let's see how that worked.
Attention PR professionals. Ready to elevate your press releases.
You see that? Watch that again.
Attention PR professionals. Ready to elevate your press releases.
Now, the funny thing is, the lip syncing is so good on these, on both Transform and Talking Avatars, that I wasn't thinking when I was doing some editing. And I wasn't really paying attention, but I needed to find the place. It actually happened with the Pinocchio clip. I needed to find the place where specifically Pinocchio says, I've got no strings to hold me to. Oh, when he says, make me fret, I needed to find that. And I just picked it out from watching his lips. I was able to pick out exactly where he said, and make me fret, because the lip syncing is so good. So, in other words, this would probably pass the test of somebody who was hard of hearing because they could just lip sync or see read their lips so clearly. Let's see another talking avatar. And I'm going to bring Luann in for a minute. Luann, I know you're probably busy over there, and I said this would come later, but I think when we show this is a good time to explain how we did this and why we did this. So I'll have you come in a minute. But before you do, let me show it to everybody first.
Okay.
All right, so this is the talking avatar feature again, where we have an actual clip of an alien that's going to speak after we put in some music. All right, now that's pretty good. Luann, could you tell everyone why we put that together?
We have a group of incredible beta testers, first of all. And we had a customer yesterday who wrote and said, I'm interested in your product, but I need to know whether it can animate this particular picture because I have tried everything and I can't get it to work. Nothing works. So I took the challenge on and I passed along the screenshot. It wasn't even a really good JPEG or PNG, it was just a screenshot. And I passed it along to one of our beta testers, and this is what he did with that screenshot. And he did some other variations as well. And the customer happened to be on the webinar last night, and he was absolutely blown away when he saw that we had done this, and we had it on the webinar. I had already sent him the samples earlier in the day, and he was thrilled. He says, "You got a customer."
Yeah, now you said it was because he normally wears that mask, the one on the
Yes.
right here.
It's actually.
Yeah, I just want to show everybody what that looks like. Hold on.
Yeah, well, actually, it looks more like the one on the left. The one on the
It's
right.
more like the one on the left?
Yes.
Okay, so he wears that mask, and he wanted to see that as possible. I got it.
Right. It's 11-pound silicone head mask. And he said it's extremely hot. I said, well, you won't have to wear it again because now you can just take a picture of it and you can just take the video of yourself without the head on, and you'll save yourself just so much time and effort, doing it this way. So he's really thrilled.
You're right. Okay, so feature number 3 now. Let's move on to the face swap feature. Some of you actually have this with the product line called Synthesis, which all of this is related to. You could take images or videos and merge the face with another to change the age, the ethnicity, etc. of the original picture. So here, let me show you an example of a face swap. So in this case, what we're looking at is the woman on the left as a video, all right? And notice we took an Asian woman, that's the picture in the middle, and then we made her look more Asian, even though we kept everything else about her the same. So it's actually a face swap. It's not a person swap. It's just the face that is changing there. Now, we did another one that I think you'll find very fascinating as well, and that is took a still image and we were able to merge President Obama's face into Kobe Bryant's actual person. So again, it retains Kobe Bryant's look. His jersey, his hairstyle is the same. Everything's the same. His neck. The only thing that changes here is we took Obama's face and we put it onto Kobe. Now, usually it changes the face like 75% of the way towards the person that you're putting in. And that's what we've got here. It looks like we've got quite a change towards the Obama look on the right-hand side. There it is on the right. That is face swap. As I said, some of you already have that feature. And if you've already got face swap, then you are going to be getting an extra coupon later in the webinar. So you want to hold on for that. All right, we do have a bonus feature as well. Remember, we said there's 4 features, all right? And each one of the 3 so far we have described, but we haven't described feature number 4, which is currently in beta mode. But we wanted to let you in on it early anyway, all right? So even though it's not perfect yet, take some trial and error. It is a great, great feature. You can take images and videos, including stock images and videos, even paid sites, and you could replicate and alter them with our AI. Now, at first glance, you're going to feel that this may even be immoral, never mind illegal, but it's not with the current state of AI. And I'll show you what I mean. You've already seen the first. The first one, early on, we showed you that there was a woman, and the woman was actually walking. It was actually a video. You can see her walking on the left-hand side right here. And this is off of a stock video site. She's looking at a phone. Well, we wanted this scene recreated, and all we did on the right-hand side is we said, put a hat on that woman and make her look at a book rather than her phone. And it recreated the scene very closely, so closely that you can see you'd be able to use it in any kind of video editing that you were doing, and you would be able to now have the new things that she's looking at and wearing. She's now wearing the hat, and she, of course, is looking at a book. So we replaced the phone with a book, we put a hat on the girl, and boom, we have our new piece of media. Now, I wanted you to see some more, so yesterday afternoon, right before we did the first webinar, we did this one here. This is also a video, and then I'll show you a still, I believe. Here, let me play this for you. And as you can see, this is a sailboat on the ocean. Now, what we did is we took this stock video from one of the stock video sites, and then we played it right here on the right-hand side by requesting that it put in a yacht rather than a sailboat. And there you have the yacht. Actually, we asked for a cruise ship. And then we have the cruise ship on the right-hand side in a very similar scene. Okay, I'll show that to you one more time. There's the cruise ship. That was the difference, and that's what we asked for. Now I'm going to show you another example of this. Actually, it is video. And this time you'll see that the stock video actually has an iStock thing right on there, one of those watermarks. Actually, that's coming up. You'll see that later. Right now, I want to show you the one where we did the dogs. All right, so this is a video of dogs. Okay, right there. We wanted to change it to a wolf. And there we go. There's the wolf instead. And there's another wolf in the background there as well. So we changed dogs to wolf. And as I said later on, you'll see where we actually even remove a watermark in that process. So those are the 4. Do you want to see it all in a demonstration to see how easy it is? Because it's really easy. This is one of the easiest products I've ever seen, actually, in terms of usage. Yes, FaceForm removes watermarks, Ron, but in that one, there was no original watermark, but you'll see later, right after the demo, I'm going to show you one where it just wipes out the watermark. Okay, so you ready for the demo? Yes, you are. Yes, yes, yes. I see lots of yeses. And let's play that demo now. I'm going to switch over. Just have patience for a second while I pull up the sharing and click on the video.
Welcome to FaceForm, where you could do everything from video transformations, talking avatars, replicate new videos and images from old using prompts, and last but not least, perform face swaps on images and videos, and do it all from this one easy-to-navigate dashboard. Let's start at the top. As you can see, you can bounce from feature to feature with ease, transform, talking avatars, face swaps, and replicate media. So let's start with transform. This is where you could take a source video of someone talking or singing and turn the subject of that video into another character using a single image. And the process is super easy. Let me show you. Start by uploading your image or using a prompt to generate your image here. Let's use this prompt for this example. I am going to type in Peter Pan and let's see what we get. The portrait generator will supply an image based on my prompt. Look, there we have it. It's Peter Pan. Now I want to upload the video. I want to be transformed into Peter Pan. Let's choose this one. Now, once it's uploaded, I could play it back if I want. We've got a multifaceted AI design tool that will have you and your subscribers transformed. Delete it or upload a different one, but this is the one I want. The third and final step to transform this video is to click Generate Video. Easy as that. That immediately starts the transformation. You could check the progress of your project renders here. You can click and see older projects, or you can create a new project. So you can be creating multiple projects at once. Let's go ahead and do that. This time, let's upload an image of Santa Claus. And I'll use the same source video file that I just used. And then click Generate Video. It's that easy. I just started another project just like that. Now let's check the projects. They usually render in under a minute depending on the size, so literally in a matter of seconds, you have completely transformed videos. Let's see how they turned out. Peter Pan. We've got a multifaceted AI design tool that will have you and your subscribers transform. That's just amazing. And now Santa Claus. We've got a multifaceted AI design tool that will have you and your subscribers transform. Can you believe that? I just turned myself into Peter Pan and Santa Claus in like 2 minutes. Okay, that was the transform feature, but now let's take a look at the talking avatar features. Let's look at it right here. It's so simple to navigate and create because the UI doesn't change from feature to feature. The difference here is that you don't have to use your own voice. You could choose from a variety of AI voices, so this is completely AI generated, nothing to upload unless you want to. Let me show you. To get started, you can upload your own image or conjure a character up in your head and describe them. This time, let's put in a mid-30s male with red hair and glasses that looks like a mechanic and click Create. Nice, there's our mechanic. Now let's type what we want him to say. I'm a certified technician and I'm ready to tune your car. More horses, more torque, tighter handling, you name it, I could do it. Bring your car down to my shop. Ross's Rides, and we'll get tuning. Now I need to select the voice for my mechanic. You could preview the voices to see what sounds the best.
Hello, this is a demo of the voice you have selected.
Let's use Charlie for this application. I'll select it, and then I can click play here to make sure it sounds the way I want it to.
I'm a certified technician and I'm ready to tune your car. More horses, more torque, tighter handling, you name it, I can do it. Bring your car down to my shop, Ross's Rides, and we'll get tuning.
If it doesn't, I can change my voice prompt or simply regenerate the audio and it will have a different sound. I'm happy with this, so all that's left is to click Generate Video and it's being processed. Now, just like Transform, you can create multiple talking avatar projects at once, and the projects you see here are just talking avatar projects. They are separate from anything I create in the other features. So it looks like Ross the mechanic is done rendering. Let's check the results.
I am a certified technician and I'm ready to tune your car. More horses, more torque, tighter handling, you name it, I can do it. Bring your car down to my shop, Ross's Rides, and we'll get tuning.
Wow, did you see that? The lip sync is perfect, 100% natural looking. It's crazy what FaceForm can do and do it so quickly. Onto the face swap feature. Next, you can also perform face swaps for videos and images all within this very dashboard. And that's why it's here, because while it may not be our brand newest technology, within FaceForm, it opens up the doors to even more versatility for your video and image productions. We just couldn't leave it out. Let me show you. So the great thing about it is you're diving into another way to create literally with a click. And the actions are still the same as within Transform and Talking Avatars. The only difference is right here. You could toggle between images and videos, depending on what you want to face swap. You could still create AI portraits with prompts to use in your face swaps right here, or upload an image. And again, over here, you can upload the video or image you want to change the face of. For this example, I'm going to face swap a video I created with Transform so you could witness the sheer versatility this mind-blowing platform can offer. So first, I'm going to grab an image of the face I want to swap into the video. And why not? Let's select me. And for the video, I'm going to use this Transform video right here. And once it's uploaded, you know the next step already. Click Generate. Now, while that is processing, I just want to show you all of your recent face swaps will be stored over here. I really love how it's separate. It keeps me organized. Okay, it's done processing, so let's look at the result. Let me represent your brand. Viking Auto, Viking Lawn Care, Viking Power Washing. I can be your ambassador. It's just mind-blowing what I'm able to do with just a few clicks, what I can create, and that's still not it. In fact, the next feature, called Replicate Media, may be the big one among everything I've shown you already. Yeah, make sure you're sitting down before you continue watching this demonstration. Let's move on to Replicate Media. This is Replicate Media. Again, the same user interface, and there's nothing new to learn here. And like I said, this may be the most powerful feature of any I've already shown you. It's simple. Upload any stock video or old video here, type in what you want to change about the video, and click Regenerate. Let's do it. First, let's find a video to replicate. I am going to go to Pexels for this example and grab a video. Let's see. This looks good. A close-up view of a woman smiling. So I'm going to download and upload into FaceForm Replicate Media. So what do we want to change it to? Well, let's say Turn the woman in the video into an African American mid-20s model. And then we'll click Regenerate to see the result. Oh my goodness. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Magic before your very eyes. We have a mid-20s African American model before our eyes. Can you imagine? This is unlimited video media, how you want it. Just simply find a stock video that you want to change and change it with your words. It's unreal, and FaceForm has it. Transform videos, create talking avatars, face swap images and videos, and replicate media. Do it all from one dashboard with FaceForm in a matter of seconds.
All right. So I'm very excited that came out so clearly. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties showing that to you. I had to hold the microphone up to the speaker, but not today. Now I'm switching over. You should see my screen again now. I think you do. And I want to tell you that you've been asking questions in the question answer box. Thank you very much. A reminder, we're going to be giving out PayPal cash later in this webinar to those of you that are very proactive in the question answer box and help me out with the following section that we're getting to right now. That is where we're going to talk about what FaceForm can do for businesses and your clients' businesses, and of course yourself. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at right now. I do want to point out that some of the answers that you've gotten have been excellent so far in the question answer box. For instance, you asked a question just moments ago. Let me see, it was Zvi Robel. You asked about the Hebrew language support for avatars, and the answer to that was yes, you can upload audio in any language, and it will lip sync, and that's pretty amazing. So in other words, on that on the talking avatar feature, you could upload your audio in another language, and the lips will still sync up. And that is just an example of some of the answers that you're getting in that question answer box. All right, so now let's talk about what you could do with FaceForm, and I want you to put your thinking caps on because I've put a lot here, and I'd like some additional answers as well from you guys, and I'll read them out. That is, what can you do with FaceForm? You've saw all 4 of the features so far. I'll mention some of them right now, and I'll actually show you some of them right now as well. And then I'm going to ask for your answers too. So let's see, this is 10:47 in the morning now. Okay, so I'll scroll back to 10:47 to see what you think. So you could create talking and singing mascots for businesses. You've seen that, and we'll show you another example of that in a minute. You could capitalize on the growth of faceless marketing. And if you don't know what that is, we'll show you an example of that. You could stand out in the crowded e-story space with talking, moving, singing story characters. You could create a cartoon YouTube channel. We've shown you examples of that already, and we'll show you some more. You could bring social media to a halt with scroll stoppers like we've been doing all morning. You could create marketing media for seasonal events. I saw one of you already screamed out Santa earlier. You could have easy video production with replicated media without the cost. That is, you could take stuff right off from another stock video site and not worry about any copyright infringement because you're changing it just enough that there's nothing that they can say or do. And you could create your own media for resale. Ooh, I'm telling. Isn't that something? I mean, it's crazy that you could do that, and some of these sites that you're getting ideas from are paid sites, and yet you could resell your media. Let me just show you a few examples of what we just discussed. Here's an example of a mascot for a business. You saw this moments ago in the demo.
Let me represent your brand. Viking Auto, Viking Lawn Care, Viking Power Washing. I can be your ambassador.
Now, that's my favorite feature, FaceForm. You saw that I was able to control the face, voice, and everything, the lips of that mascot right there with the transform feature. But what about faceless marketing? Well, faceless marketing is a marketing strategy, in case you don't know, that promotes a brand or a product without featuring anybody in the video. It's kind of like you're not even there, right? And there's many ways to do that. You can, of course, do it with avatars as well. You don't have to necessarily do it with just pictures. You could do it with avatars. That's still not your face. Here's what Forbes says about faceless marketing. They say for creators, it's easy because you're prioritizing the content rather than you, right? So I happen to have, for instance, a TikTok channel, and I do very well with that. I get paid by the Creator Rewards Program just for the views, but there are other people that brag to me in the various chats that they're doing far better than me, and they're not in the video. They're always stunned when I say I am in the video, and they say we don't need to be in the video. That's faceless marketing. And for the brands, of course, it's beneficial as well because it's lower cost for them and it's easier to scale up. Here's an example of another kind of faceless marketing. There's something called VTubers, and this has been really an underground movement that is very successful and monetizes really well. This was actually not made from FaceForm. This is an actual example of a VTuber. A VTuber is where you take an anime character, which you can make, by the way, with this product, and then you have the anime character do the talking during the actual YouTube. And you could do that with this particular product. And then you could, of course, make story characters like this.
I'm Buzzy the Brave Magician and Wizard, and I'm about to take you on an exciting adventure. Stay tuned as I hop through this amazing story just for you.
So what you're looking at here are two different ways to make the characters. One was the talking avatar. That was the first way. And the second thing that we're doing right there, and I'll let you see that again, is with transform, we're able to get that character to really show expression on her face. Here, watch that again. The first one is the talking avatar feature, and then we go over to transform.
I'm Buzzy the Brave Magician and Wizard, and I'm about to take you on an exciting adventure. Stay tuned as I hop through this amazing story just for you.
And there's that second part of that. All right, so that's another way that you can obviously monetize this, is by having stories. My grandson would flip out over that. And now you could also do this for advertisements, though, in a big way. Here, watch this one.
It's the most special time of the year, and we're spreading holiday cheer at Mulligan's Hardware. Decorations to make your house pop, lights to make your space shine, and candles that smell like Yuletide. Come to Mulligan's and do the holidays bright.
Looking for a Halloween costume that wants? Check out Dave's Haunted Costumes at 324 Ricker Street between 3 and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. You're gonna freak.
Now, that was obviously done with the transform feature.
We're spreading holiday cheer at Mulligan's Hardware. Decorations to make your house pop, lights to make your...
Well, this one was done with talking avatar. And Shannon, I've got to ask you in the background there, you don't have to really answer this, but why was Dave's Hardware, or whatever that was, only open 3 to 7 p.m.? What kind of hours is that? Even Monday through Saturday, 4 hours? They should stay open late for Halloween. Jeez. Okay, so the next thing that you can do is, of course, and this is where I told you could wipe out the watermark, is you can replicate media and use that. You can actually use it for your projects, or you can even resell the media if you really wanted to, because it's not infringing on any copyrights. And let me show you why. So if you take a look at these two still images, earlier we showed you videos, these are still images, you'll notice that what I asked for, I actually put this one together, is I asked for a hiker overlooking Yosemite. And instead, what we had on the right is they changed it to a woman, and they put a lake at the bottom of Half Dome. Now, that, of course, isn't accurate. In Yosemite, there really is no lake right there. But on the other hand, now we've avoided any copyright infringements at all, and yet we're evoking the same exact flavor in the image on the right as is the image on the left. So if we didn't care for accuracy there in terms of it actually being Yosemite, and we were just trying to go for a specific feeling, boy, did we replicate that with a quality photo on the right-hand side. And yet we have absolutely nothing to pay to iStock in this case because I was able to do that. So there's an example, again, of how to monetize with Replicate Media. Now, let me ask for your help. As I mentioned earlier, I want to know from you what you think that we'll be able to do with FaceForm to monetize it. So let me see what you guys have come up with. Animation short, says Lowell. Yes, you can upload someone singing. We did show singing, yes. Celebrity product endorsement, says Charles. Very good. Rick says, I have created several cartoons with AI image generators. Affiliate sales copy. Rick says, if I wanted to make a funny video, I could use these tools together to create such. MR wants to know about deep fakes and getting businesses banned from advertising. Yeah, you've got to do your research, but I will tell you right now that we're in a very, very curious time in terms of deep fakes where they are right now not being clamped down on like they should be. Okay, so I'm not saying go out and use deep fakes, but there's some room there. Okay, and you know, if you research it some more and see what other people are doing, you'll see that you could have, let's say, an endorsement from Abe Lincoln without any problem, as an example. Someone mentioned that yesterday. Jeff agrees with talking cartoon host for children's YouTube channel. Yeah, that's what I was getting at before. How about creating an avatar in front of stock videos of places and promote a location? That's a great idea, Amaris. Okay, great. Thank you for your help on that. So I don't want to hold you up too long.
Don't wait another second. You can get access to FaceForm Commercial for this very low one-time price that you see below. Thank you so much for watching.